Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another On the Sensors production. We have another very special guest with us this evening. Parker Simpson is joining us tonight. How you doing, Parker? Of course, 86 from the server and Parker. So how you doing, man?
Yeah, doing great. Excited to be on, talk about some Destiny. Been out of it for a minute, so yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, good stuff. 86, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. I wish I was sporting that Golden Girl shirt that Parker had, but I'm doing all right.
That
Yeah,
is
man.
quite the shirt, man. Love it.
Love those ladies. Yeah.
So Parker, man, definitely want to talk about some of the things that you've got going on, some stuff that's in the pipeline. Definitely want to talk about your art, but I don't know, maybe for people who don't know, like what is your history with Destiny? How long you been a Star Wars fan? It's just a couple of questions I always like to ask people, like where did you begin your Star Wars journey?
Sure. Yeah. So, like a lot of people, I grew up watching the films, and just having that nostalgia and everything has made it continue going. And all of the new Disney stuff has definitely kept that flame lit. And I don't know, it's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kenobi on the
As for
horizon,
yeah, oh my
Ahsoka,
god.
Bad Batch, all that stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Mhm.
Visions is coming soon.
Oh, that
Yeah,
looks so good.
I'm really excited about Visions. I just saw the new trailer that dropped, and as a anime fan, I am very excited.
Yeah.
So
I got goosebumps
yeah,
from that.
it's gonna be so cool. Yeah. But yeah, no, with Destiny, I've been playing it since Awakenings dropped. I've been making content for it since like early 2018. I do a lot of alt art cards. If, like you said, if somebody's not familiar with who I am, I do alt art cards with my own digital illustrations, just to kind of make a little bit more excitement for the game, just a little bit of customization that you may not be able to get on a regular basis. So this is
Yeah,
kind of a general
I've got some here
idea of that. Got
as well.
C3PO and
Got Kylo.
yeah, so I've done cards pretty much spanning the entirety of the game, all the way up through some of the Renewed Hope cards actually. Um, but I actually recently stepped out of creating stuff for Destiny. I just came to a point where I realized that I need to start focusing a little bit more on like my personal projects. I have a couple of picture books in the works. I've got some different tutorial stuff for people who want to learn how to draw. Just a lot of stuff that I feel like I need to be giving back to the community. Um, it's been awesome working with the Destiny community specifically. Like ever since day one, like there's been nothing but love from all of you guys. Like even even when I dropped like my first 6 cards, and like looking back, like you can ask any artist, if you ask them to look at something from like 5 years ago that they did, it's like cringing at looking at some of this stuff because you come so far in
Yeah,
such little amount of time.
yeah.
Um,
It's like looking
but
at a
yeah,
photo
no,
of
it's
yourself
it's
from 5 years ago where you have some weird
right.
haircut.
Right. So it's been really fun though. I've definitely learned a lot about um, like who I want to be as an artist and like what my specific style is, and getting to evolve and shape that with the Destiny community has been an incredibly rewarding experience. I have nothing but appreciation for this group of people.
Yeah. Well, I know I speak for probably everyone when I say, we were definitely a little sad to hear about, you departing, but then we're also very happy to see you continue to post for a little while, right? The Destiny Forever, initiative, and of course to have you back here is awesome. So you mentioned that you started the alt arts back. There we go. That is
Yeah, that's the
awesome.
one. Yeah, that's almost been 2 months ago at this point. That's crazy.
That's wild, man. Summer's been flying by.
It really
So you
has.
mentioned you were doing art as early as 2018. Did you ever, talk to FFG? Was it always like the side thing or like kind of unofficial? Or I'm just curious.
Yeah, so it's always kind of been my little side hustle. As my day job, I work in veterinary medicine. I'm a veterinary nurse. I've been doing that for about 10 years, and just it's given me the stability that I could do to pursue the artwork on the side. Um, so I never had to rely on artwork as a paycheck, which has made it a lot easier for me to, um, I guess, pursue the things that may not have been as lucrative. Like a lot of artists, you see them go after a ton of commission work or big projects or whatever. And the Star Wars Destiny stuff is, as a whole, it's turned into a huge project. But I mean, it's just started from my love of Star Wars characters and playing the game and wanting to help customize stuff like that. Um, yeah, I've never really thought much about like pursuing FFG or like working with their licensing or whatever. It's always just been like just a little side thing if somebody wants to make their game a little bit more unique. Um, that's always been a line I've had to tiptoe of not creating stuff that is kind of take away from the IP holders, because I definitely don't want the mouse coming after me. So all of the cards that I've done have primarily been dice cards, so you have to have the official product to use them. But it's just like having a fancy playmat or custom tokens or whatever. And it's just makes your game a little bit more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, tell us about Destiny Forever. Was that something that you had, was that sort of just getting started whenever you decided to step away, or was that something that, I'll be honest, I wasn't super familiar. So just tell us a little bit about, about all of that.
Yeah, so Destiny Forever kind of just grew out of a little fake hashtag I'd made a while back. um, but it's kind of snowballed into um, being my, I guess, step out of Destiny. I want to leave this community with the ability to continue getting my cards if they want them. I'm personally just not creating any new cards. So Destiny Forever, the big celebration back in June, July, was kind of my big farewell tour. Your last chances to get certain cards, being able to shop on the site for singles. So now Destiny Forever is shifting more into the long-term plan. Um, since there's not going to be any new PSA cards for like the Renewed Hope or um, Coruscant and Coruscant Initiative. I'm
Yep.
not sure. Okay, but yeah, so I'm not continuing creating new cards, but having the ability to get these alt arts for your older cards, ones that you can utilize with like Destiny Smash from Dice Commando. I've got a lot of Awakenings block characters in there as well that don't really get a whole lot of love. But yeah, so with transitioning out, I've actually put together complete playsets of my alternate arts. It includes pretty much everything outside of my exclusives and um, double-sided cards. So the Destiny Forever sets, I actually have them right here in front of me. So they come in little custom tuck boxes with the logo. So this is obviously the yellow one. It's got all the information on the side there. It's upside down. Is it upside down?
No, it looks good. Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. Got the Arbesh for yellow. But these include pretty much every card, like I said, that has come and gone with PSA. So you got all your yellow characters that we all know and love. These sets actually come with different backings than the regular ones. So if you go and you actually look at the ones that you'd have at home, they have just kind of the flat white text and everything. Yeah, like that guy right there. So this kind of gives you a little bit more of the feel of the exclusivity of these sets. Like I said, you get the custom tuck box, you get the fancy backings.
Love it.
But yeah, you've got the yellow, red, you got your blue characters, This one is a little bit smaller because it's the gray characters and the plots.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that would be a good way to bundle those together since there's not as many of those. Each of these are available on my site. I also have the reinforcement set. This one specifically is more for people who are going to be playing a lot more rather than the collectors. So what this includes is every non-unique character with as many of them as you can use in a 30-point team. So you've got your 6 battle droids, 3 sentinel messengers, 4 first order stormtroopers, that sort of thing, and so on.
Very nice.
So this is more for the folks who are going to be filling out all of their decks with just Parker Simpson cards, which I know there's not a whole lot of people who are into that, but it's there if it's needed. All of these can actually be purchased together at an even higher discount, which is called the Master Set. Each of these breaks down to about $2 per card, which looking back, the single sales were about $5 each. So it is a pretty large discount, and it's there and it's available for folks who still want to be getting the cards. With that being said, the singles on the site have been phased out, so there's not really a way to specifically get, like if you're looking for Leia Organa Born Leader from Awakenings, if you need that one, not available to just point and click anymore. I'm just not keeping physical stock. Just as I'm transitioning out of it, that just isn't something that
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
is needed. Yeah. But with that being said, my current inventory is being liquidated into mystery packs. So these are really exciting. I had a much bigger response for these than I anticipated. So it pretty much gives you the excitement of cracking FFG packs, but they're Parker Simpson cards. So these guys, you get 3 random cards per pack for $5, so it's less than $2 per card.
So 3
Obviously, you
packs
don't.
for $5.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yep. And then you can get even more if you want more. It's a higher discount. Actually working on some tournament kits as well. By the time this video comes out, it'll probably be about time to launch those. I don't have the specifics exactly on that, but I have had a few folks who have asked about that for their local leagues. So I'm really excited to kind of get that put together, just as some official, unofficial prize support, so that folks can keep getting their Destiny fix. And now that we're doing in-person stuff on a little bit more of a regular basis, seems like it's about the time to get on it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, we love that. I know 86 earlier had some ideas, maybe around some prize support, maybe running a couple events. So, but yeah, 86. Did you have anything, man, for Parker?
I have one question. I didn't think about until recently, but I have to ask. Did you yourself translate the Arabesh, or did you have someone who was really nerdy do it?
I did have somebody really nerdy do it. It was me. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I have a Illustrator file on my computer with the full alphabet that I hand rendered. It was a massive pain in the butt, but yeah, I was able to get all the literal lettering there for Parker Simpson artwork. I figure my logo is fairly well known in the community, that it's pretty easily identified. But yeah, no, the Arabesh, that's a kind of a sore subject.
Hey, man, I love the dedication.
Yeah,
I think that definitely lends itself to the more hardcore Star Wars fans specifically. So
Yeah,
it's like a lot of people can recognize that it's Arabesh, but to like, do I have any idea what this says? Can I read it? No, I wish I could, but well,
yeah, well.
But
even with doing that for each of the little logos, and like I said, we've got it on the tops of the Destiny Forever boxes. It just adds a little bit to the lore of it.
No, I think it's really good. It's a nice touch. I'm going to get a lot of hate on the internet now. The comments are going to be filled with burn 86 burn. Not
Well, you won't know if it's written in Arabesh though. So.
Oh, that's true.
Be like, oh, they love me.
nice.
Oh dear.
So one thing I'm curious about, Parker, is you talked a little bit about your, beginning of this journey within Star Wars, making alt arts back in 2018. So what was the initial inspiration to do that, and what was the first card you did? I'm sure somebody watching will know the answer to that, but I don't, and maybe many people don't. So what was the first one you did? You remember?
So I do have some super fans who could probably tell you quicker than I can tell you, which is hilarious. But so I did a batch of 6 original cards. Let me see if I can actually find that because I can't remember the exact characters. Um, but yeah, so just as I'm looking for that, the original inspiration to do the Star Wars Destiny alt arts, I think I think it was when I first got my first FFG alt art. I think it was the Django Fett where he's like flying around with his jetpack.
Mm.
Really like that one, and the fact that you could customize your game even further was just a really exciting idea in my head. Um, so that was kind of the biggest thing, and I had a couple of friends locally who also played the game, and it just kind of went from there. My wife and I were foster parents for a while, so there was kids who would come through the house who'd want to learn how to play games and stuff like that. So it was something to kind of bond with the kids and mess around with. Um, yeah, let me see.
So
Where is
where does that style come from? I mean, because it's a very distinctive style. It kind of reminds me of, like, is cell shaded? Is that the right term? I mean, I'm not sure if that's correct, but kind of just makes me kind of reminds me of like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which was a cell shaded game, but just like this very, almost like comic book cartoony style. I like it. So where does that come from?
Yeah, so I grew up watching a ton of cartoons, which was probably not the most healthy thing in the world. Um, but
Saturday morning
yeah,
cartoons. You gotta love it.
yeah. So I had a lot of inspiration from like shows like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, a lot of the Tartakovsky shows. He did the original 2003 Clone Wars, where it's like that little
Okay.
mini series.
Yeah.
So that is a heavy influence. Obviously, his style is a little bit more suited to like animation, but the thick, crisp black lines, the vibrant colors, the no nonsense shading. It's pretty derivative of his work. But it's just taken me a little bit of time to figure out my exact style and
Hmm.
figure out how to do it most effectively. So, yeah. But that's definitely one of my biggest influences.
Very cool.
So going into that, the one question I have regarding all arts you've done, I know you're looking. I don't know if you're still looking at the 6 all arts
Mhm.
that you've done.
Yeah, it's
So
bugging me now.
I know you've done some special edition stuff,
Mhm.
like this Darth Jar Jar.
Love
And
that.
then there are a couple of my favorites that I just put one of them. Oh, there you go. Thrawn is a favorite of mine, character
Mhm.
wise, and I had one of the cards, and Bo-Katan is another one of my favorite characters outside of the Fets. Of course, everybody knows I'm the Fets. That's the obvious one. So going into that, what are your favorite characters to work on?
Um, hmm. So I'll break it down in a couple of different ways. So to use in Destiny, always yellow characters. Doesn't matter what it is. That play style has always been more of my thing. Um, so anything where you can get like the big blowout plays, like Ace in the Hole, you get a fight dirty, something like that. That's really my jam for the game. Um, as for like most fun to draw, it's definitely the alien characters. You have a lot less restrictions with like anatomy and stuff like that because it's an alien. um, so like Admiral Akbar was really fun. Doing Yoda because he's always super expressive. You can't really. It's something that you can kind of caricature. Uh, do a little bit of like more emphasized on the features. Because if you are drawing, let's say, what do I have in front of me? I have the whole set in front of me.
Here's Yoda that you just mentioned. I'm not sure how well that will come through, but
Yeah, so when you're drawing like a human character, like let's say we've got Anakin Skywalker, you have to be very consistent with like it has to look like Hayden Christensen. It has to look like a human. And as an artist, that's always a difficult task, making sure that there's the recognition and the basics of the anatomy. But then when you have like an alien or somebody with like a mask, like I did a Kylo Ren a while back where he's got the mask on and he's doing like a force push.
mm-hmm.
That one was really fun because I didn't have to worry about like, oh, is it going to look like Adam Driver? I don't know. The Night Sister zombies were really fun too because they're meant to be freaky looking. So things that you can put a little bit more emphasis on. Like how abnormal they look, just makes it a lot more fun to draw. There's a little less restriction to it, I guess.
Yeah, so for me, you'll appreciate this, 86. I actually, two of my favorites would be Django and Sabine. I love, I mean, clearly there's a theme here, right? I love the like the jetpacks, like the flamethrower, just that whole style with the armor, and it's almost like it pops out at you. It almost has like this, it's not 3D, but it sort of has this element of like coming at you, you know? I really like those.
Yeah, so I tried to do the best the best I could with overlapping the characters and their elements over the dice map and the other text boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my characters, you'll see they kind of go over to kind of add that depth to it, make it not look like a flat card. I think one of my favorite illustrations that I've done is the Infus Nest. She was just super fun to draw. She's got the really cool looking like staff thing.
Mm-hmm.
But even with playing with that, I have the helmet overlapping up there. And then in the side here, the cape is going behind the text box, but the staff is going over it. It's just little details like that that I tried to incorporate into most of the pieces to make them a little bit more dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely something that I've learned over time. I think including my discontinued designs, like the older ones that I've either done new variants for or just discontinued entirely. I think I almost have like 250 illustrations. So over the course of 3 years, doing that as a side hustle definitely taught me how to do my illustration work a lot more effectively and in a much better way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm a much better artist just from doing those 200 some odd character drawings. And I mean, that's really what I would tell any artist out there, or any kid who's trying to figure out how to be the best they can be with illustration or painting or whatever, is just putting in the time, putting in the effort. You're going to look back at stuff from 3 years ago and you're going to cringe, and that'll be great. That means that you're growing as an artist. So I think that just over time, just continuing to put in the work, and when you're enjoying it, like it really isn't work. Like this is what I do in my free time because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really awesome to be able to share it with the Destiny community.
Yeah, man, we love it. So I was scrolling through your Facebook earlier, and the Parker Simpson official Facebook, and I remembered the post where you talk about the coloring book. So I made myself a note. I'm going to print that out because I've got, young kids, one who's as young as 4, and she'll love it, man, because she watches Star Wars with me. Like she's watched some Clone Wars with me, Rebels, a little bit of the Bad Batch, and so for those who don't know, like maybe we'll put it up or a link in the description or what have you. But it's a really cool, just a blank coloring page, right? So for kids to color that in with the it's got the style of Parker Simpson art, and you color it however you want. So it's pretty cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, so I've got I've actually got it pulled up. If I can share my screen,
we'll flash it up. I don't know if that'll work during the recording.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, you can find the link on my website. There's a tab that literally just says coloring pages. But I've
super
got,
neat.
I think it's about 10 of them where I just took the color out of my illustrations and left the line work there for folks to print out. It's all formatted to just a regular sheet of paper. It's got instructions on there for how to print them out or download them or however you want to do it. Um, but yeah, just I love seeing people do creative things, and a lot of folks discount their own abilities. They're like, "Oh, well, I can't draw like you." Well, you don't have to draw like me. You can draw like you. Like it's always something that like it's even if it's not a masterpiece, if it's enjoyable for you to do it and it's getting your brain thinking in different ways than you normally would, it's worth doing. A lot of folks we just plop in front of the TV and just kind of do that. But if you're sitting and coloring and getting your hands moving and like I said, using your brain in different ways, it's very rewarding. And eventually, with time and effort, you do get better. And I don't know. I think a lot of it is with anything in life is just enjoying what you're doing while you're doing it.
Yeah, well said, man.
Yeah.
So
I
what's
know I
next?
tend to ramble, so y'all can always cut me off
You're
if
good.
needed. Yeah.
You're fine. This is all good information.
Yeah.
So what's next for
Yeah.
you, Parker? What's coming up?
Yeah.
What can we be on the lookout for?
So yeah, so I'm kind of putting the finishing touches on the Destiny Forever stuff. I did the celebration, like I said, a couple of months ago. I just got the Destiny Forever sets finished up. I'm working on getting tournament prize support put together, so that's coming relatively soon. But as I kind of step away from Star Wars Destiny, I do have a lot of personal projects that I want to work on. My to-do list is about a mile long, and it's all just disjointed thoughts of I've got picture book drafts that I've put together. I have just all these different ideas that I want to be putting time and effort into, and I feel like this has been a good place to kind of stop with the Star Wars Destiny, leave a legacy in this community. Not to sound like some big important thing, but like I feel like leaving this for the community to enjoy um, is important. I feel like it's important. I feel like I've been a part of the community in a way that um, I feel like y'all deserve to continue to have access to it, even without me creating new content for it. But yeah, no, I'm looking to do some more commission project stuff. I've done a lot of portrait work, and I've actually done a lot of commission work with folks who I've actually just met through Destiny.
Nice.
Some of the stuff that I really enjoy is like portrait illustration, character design. Obviously, I've done a couple of portraits of people with with Star Wars stuff incorporated. My one of my super fans, I call him, he had commissioned me to do an image of him as Boba Fett, which was really fun. And he's got like this guitar, and he's just shredding on the guitar, dressed like Boba Fett. But just
86 perked
yeah.
up at the idea of that.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
not the guitar.
yeah, so I'm in the works of cleaning up my website a little bit, making it a little bit more user friendly for folks who want to hire me for other jobs. Because I'm always looking for illustration work. Like I said, portrait stuff. I draw a lot of dogs, which makes sense because I work with dogs all the time. So yeah, just any sort of just illustration stuff. If you ever need a logo or whatever, like just track me down. I'm here. I'm available.
ParkerSimpsonArtwork.com.
Yep, that's the one. ParkerSimpsonArtwork.com. Like I said, I'm kind of cleaning up the website. It's kind of under construction at the moment, but probably by the time that this is coming out, it'll be pretty and ready. So
Excellent, man. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I would love to see some of your other work. I haven't, I guess where would I have, So I'm excited to see some of the new stuff. Hopefully you'll get it out there on the website. People can give it a gander.
right, yeah. And like I said, just working with this community has been great. I've got a ton of just side jobs and just even new friendships that I've made through sharing my art with folks. I got to shout out like David Livens and Thomas Vino, some other folks who are actually doing their own professional artwork that I've connected with through the game, and we've been able to kind of form some tight-knit friendships, and it's really exciting to be able to, I don't know, use this silly game about space wizards to to make connections with folks all over the world. It's just,
Yeah.
it's very humbling. It's very fun though. It's very fun.
If you were going to sum up, if someone asks you, what's your defining moment about Destiny, what would you say that through all this time that you've been in here, what would you sum up in 1 or 2 sentences, the big thing or the relevant thing for you?
That's a big question.
I'm sorry.
I mean, no, it really has been the connections with people that I've been able to make through it. Like making the cards and getting them out there and seeing people sleeve up my illustrations and put them on the table, like that's really rewarding in and of itself as like an artist. But as a person, being able to connect with folks through this has been the best part. um, the only in-person event that I've actually ever done was the Kappa Cup. I think it was 2019, like right before the pandemic hit. I was able to kind of set up a table there. I met a lot of people who I had talked to online. I got to meet Mr. Chip, which was awesome because he's like my Destiny hero. So that was really fun. But just being able to hang out with folks and just learn about different walks of life and just being able to connect with people through just the genuine love of the game and community. It's awesome. I know that's not really like one defining thing, but but
No, it's good.
I ramble a lot. That's why folks don't let me on their podcasts.
No, you're fine. Nothing you said has been rambling. And see, here's me rambling now. I can kind of like when you said people sleeving up your cards and play with them. I used to route set at a climbing gym, and that was just one thing. Like when you see people climbing a route, or like it's one thing to like see it, then you like see people like project it and like work on it and talk about it, and then you're like, okay, yeah. And then I do kind of get that like vicariously. I feel you there.
Yeah, well, and there's that like sense of pride
Mhm.
that's associated with it. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting for you, Parker, is it's not just like art that gets hung on the wall. It's like people play with this. They could be looking at it every day, right? On the kitchen table. Their kids get to see it. Their friends who stop by who like board games get to see it, or card games. And so, yeah, it's just a really cool thing you've created, man. So, yeah, good stuff. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely being able to use my artwork for something has been awesome. I kind of started in my professional art career doing T-shirt designs, so I've never really been the kind to do artwork that just goes and gets hung up on the wall and you look at it, but it just kind of sits there. I like being in people's closets. I want to be on their shirts. I want to
Hmm.
be in their hands while they're playing their favorite card game. I think that's one of the things that's leading me to picture books is I love kids. Like I want to be able to impart in them some um, lessons and values, but also exciting stories and drawings. Because like when I was a kid, that was what I connected with was seeing beautiful artwork and animation. It's what made me want to be an artist, and being able to do that for this next generation, getting them engaged in reading and learning, but also just having the artwork in their hands, having characters that I created, like in their stories that they know and love. Um, that's really what's exciting me for the future. It's always having artwork that is tangible. Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
This may be a loaded question, and you may not be able to answer it yet, and I'm sorry. But do you have a timeline on the picture books coming out?
I do not.
Okay.
I actually have a artist buddy of mine locally. We started this little art club, which is literally just the two of us at the moment.
Hmm.
But he coined a term called spaghetti brain, And it's the idea that there's a ton of stuff in our heads, and by our heads I mean the heads of creatives, people who are doing any type of artwork or creative work or projects or planning or whatever. And there's just this mess of ideas in our brain. So I have like 4 or 5 picture books rattling around in my head at the moment. 2 of them have rough drafts. None of them have characters drawn for them yet. So there's some big ideas and big stuff in the works, coming for the future. Um, I'll share this, but it's not super relevant. I'm actually stepping out of veterinary medicine for a season, so that I can pursue my artwork. So hopefully in the next year or so, we'll have some progress on the picture book stuff. I realized that the amount of time that I was putting into my artwork, just it wasn't equivalent to the amount of value that I place on these things. It's always kind of been a side hustle for me, but there's so many things that I want to do and I want to grow in that. I just felt like there's never a great time to quit your job. But I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I can pursue that, and I'm at a point with my own skills and ability that I feel confident moving forward with that. So yeah, in the next year or so, be on the lookout. I know that most of my followers on my social media outlets have specifically followed me for the Star Wars Destiny stuff. So I'm excited to be able to share something a little bit new and different with everybody who's connected with me in that way. So don't unsubscribe yet. There's more coming.
And if I may ask, so Facebook, it's just Parker Simpson artwork to look up. Do you have any other social media outlets we should all know about?
I am investigating Instagram. I know I sound like an old fart because all I use is the Facebook, and I don't get it. I don't understand the TikTok or or whatever. I do have a YouTube page that has some just like speed drawings and illustrations behind the scenes. Kind of just shows the programs that I use, the methods that I use, just kind of speed it up so it's a little bit more interesting to watch. But I will be uploading some new stuff to the YouTube channel in the coming months, hopefully. But yeah, so right now it's just the facebook.com Parker Simpson artwork. Pretty much anything new or exciting that comes through pops up on there. I'm basically always doing a giveaway. Like if I'm not doing a giveaway, wait around for a couple weeks and there will be another one coming. I love giving out free stuff because I want folks to be able to enjoy the things that I make. And I mean, best way to get it in their hands is to give it to them. So
Yeah.
It's free, it's for me.
yeah.
Good stuff, man. All right, well, we're going to start to close out here. Any parting thoughts, gentlemen? 86, what do you have, man?
Let's let Parker go first.
Parker, what do you got, brother?
No, I mean it just follow me on Facebook. There's new stuff happening. It's an exciting time to be alive. But yeah, so I am still going to be kind of putting out some Destiny stuff for the long run. Not necessarily any new character cards or anything like that, but I am planning on, like I said, doing tournament kits and still getting the products in people's hands. Yeah. Awesome. Destiny forever, man. Yeah.
Destiny forever. Cool.
So
what do you got?
I have here Rebel Pilot number 56 of 100. Is that your autograph? Is that yes?
Yep.
It's from you.
Yeah.
If you comment pound, sorry, it's hashtag nowadays. So I'm sorry about that. Hashtag Destiny Forever in the comments. You can just leave whatever comment you were going to leave, and put hashtag Destiny Forever, or just put Destiny Forever with the hashtag, and that's it. I'll give this away to one person who comments that. And I don't know how I do that. The wheel, the name and a hat. One of those things will organize and make that happen.
And those Rebel pilots are a hot commodity. There was only 100 of them printed, so that's 1 of 100, or would you say 56 of 100?
That was 56. I do have
Yeah.
number 30 here. I'll keep number 30. You know what?
Yeah, those were a very very limited run during the Destiny Forever celebration. So those are definitely for the hardcore fans to try to find those.
Very cool, man. That's awesome.
Speaking of hardcore fans, I know you talked about the first 6 you did, and you can get that information.
Yeah, I'll shoot over the image. I know it's got.
Oh no! Don't say anything. Don't say anything. If you are the first person to comment those 6, you can win Darth Bane, Parker Simpson art.
Ooh,
y'all better be scrolling back through that Facebook feed.
Nice. I love a good competition.
I say I'll add in with that Darth Bane. I'll give away these 3 mystery packs that are just sitting here that I've been using. So those will go out too.
Okay. Well, hold on. I need to comment now. No, just kidding.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you all had fun with that video. 86, and especially you, Parker. Appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely an inspiration. Quitting your job to become a full-time artist and just pursuing the passion, man. Good for you. It's fantastic. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the time. So here on the Sensors, we got 86 and our special guest Parker Simpson tonight. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we will catch you next time. And don't forget to comment.